Pokemon Crystal is one of the older games that have eluded me as a child. It was pretty similar to Gold and Silver, so I did not feel that I was missing out on too much. One thing I do feel I missed out on though was defeating Pokemon Trainer Red, so I figured I might as well do it in this game and make it a challenge run while we're here. With all that said, here's my attempt at Pokemon Crystal Nuzlocke. I start the game off by confirming I'm a boy and name myself Justin. I walk downstairs and receive the Pokegear from my mother. I then walk into the lab and am offered a Pokemon from Professor Elm. I choose the fire starter, Cyndaquil. A fun fact is this is the only generation where I don't choose the grass starter. I then obviously name it Doug, even though it's a girl. I make my way to Oak and Mr. Pokemon and receive the Pokedex. I then get a call from Elm saying that he's been robbed. I make my way back to the Pokemon lab, but am stopped by this red-haired guy who wants to battle. He sends out the stolen Pokemon from the lab. He's then taken out by Doug. I then make it back to the lab and talk to the police officer. This is where I decided to name him Silver. After that I receive some Pokeballs, which means that the Nuzlocke has officially begun. My first encounter is a Centret, who I capture and name Trent. I then head to Route 30 and pick up a Weedle that I name B. I enter the Dark Cave for another encounter and pick up a Geodude, who I name Dwayne. After figuring out who I wanted to keep on the team, I made my way to Violet City and challenged Faulkner, the first gym leader. Thanks to Dwayne learning Rock Throw, it was a pretty easy battle. We defeat him and receive our first gym badge. Before continuing, I try my luck at an encounter in the Bellsprout Tower. I get a Rattata that I just knock out. While battling others in the tower, Doug evolves into Quilava. At the top of the tower, I encounter Silver. He just talks and goes on about weak Pokemon. I beat the Elder and receive Flash. The never mind. I then go to Route 22 for an encounter and pick up Ekans, who I name Kel. I enter Union Cave and catch a Sandshrew named Sandy, a bit of a tongue twister. Right before entering Azalea Town, I pick up a Spearow that I name Gust. I enter Elex Forest and catch a Metapod, which I forget to name. I'm not going to use it anyways. I go back to Azalea Town and talk to Kurt, who directs me to the Slowpoke Wall. I defeat Team Rocket and watch them evacuate. I then make my way to the second gym leader, Bugsy. I challenge and defeat him in a pretty easy battle, earning my second gym badge. Before leaving Azalea, I'm stopped by Silver, who wants to battle. He is also defeated. I then go back to Slowpoke Well and pick up a Zubat, who I forget to name, but is later called Bruce Wayne. I make it past the forest to Route 34 and catch a Pidgey who I name Val. I make it to Goldenrod City and go through the underground tunnel to find the coin case. I then go to the Goldenrod Game Corner and buy an Abra who I name Poof. I then trained him up and evolved him into Kadabra. Gust also evolved into Fearow. I then made my way to the Goldenrod Gym, which I was a bit terrified of. I made my way to the third gym leader, Whitney. I went the cheesy route and hit Miltank with a bunch of smokescreens. Dwayne then finished it off with a magnitude of 10, earning us our third gym badge. I picked up a Snubbull named Mary on Route 35. I then backtracked a bit to pick up the old route that I missed. I zip back to National Park and pick up this Nidoran that I named Queen. I run into a Growlithe on Route 37, however it roars me away and I lose the encounter. With my head down, I find my way to Ecruteak City. I probably said that wrong. I walk to the water and fish for an encounter. I get a Magikarp which I end up knocking out. I make my way to the Burn Tower and catch a Coughing which I name Smog. I find my way to the top and find Silver who wants to battle again. He was taken out pretty easily, which made my confidence in my team grow. I then watch this cutscene of the 3 dogs, or beasts, whatever you want to call it. I then pick up a Magnemite that I named Bolt on Route 38. As I was training, Dwayne evolved into Graveler. It was at this point I decided to bring out the cheat code and evolve Poof into Alakazam, as I didn't want to take any chances with the next gym leader. I waltz my way into the gym and challenge Morty, the 4th gym leader. Poof absolutely destroyed him, earning us our 4th gym badge. I picked up a Miltank on Route 39 and named it Clarabelle. I run into Silver when I arrive at Elevine City. He just sneaks in an insult and tells me the gym leader isn't here. I got a tentacle and named it Squidward. I enter this lighthouse and make my way to the top where I find the gym leader. She tells me the Ampharos that lights the lighthouse is sick and directs me to Sinnowood City to get medicine for it. I of course agree to this. I pick up a Krabby on Route 40 and name it Eugene. I also surf around on Route 41 and pick up a Mantine that I name Man Ray. I walk up Cyanwood City and watch Suicune jump around me. Yuzi then comes out of nowhere and wants to battle. I beat him easily. Before looking for the medicine, I decide to stop by Cyanwood Gym first. I make my way to Chuck and challenge him. I defeat him in battle, earning my 5th gym badge. After that, I find the pharmacist and get the secret potion from him. Before heading back to the lighthouse, I go back to Newbark Town and fish for a Chinchou. I name it Beam. I head back to Olivine and make my way up the lighthouse again. Jasmine gives the medicine to Ampharos and returns to the gym. Before challenging her, I decide to evolve Dwayne into Golem. I also train a bit and Bruce Wayne was happy enough to evolve. Beam also evolves into Lantern. After all that, I decide to make my way to the Olivine gym. I'll admit luck was on my side on this one as her Steelix misses twice in a row. Doug however takes advantage of that and secures the win, earning us our 6th gym badge. I battle a trainer and Doug decided to take his true form and evolve into Typhlosion. I made it to Mahogany Town and went to the Lake of Rage to catch this red Gyarados. I name it Rouge. I then find Lance there and he says something suspicious is going on and obviously asks for my help. I walk into this house and watch Lance destroy this guy in battle. We then find a secret staircase leading to a Team Rocket base. While infiltrating the base, I run into Silver. He wasn't able to battle me because he got embarrassed by Lance. He still managed to get an insult in and ran away. I open this door and take out electrodes that are emitting this strange signal. With all that done, I decided to make my way to the Mahogany City gym. I slide my way to Price and challenge him. A shared effort between Poof and Doug breezes through him and secures us our 7th gym badge. After leaving the gym, I'm contacted by Professor Elm about a strange broadcast coming from the Goldenrod Tower. Since there was no one else to help, I made my way there. I took out this guy who gave me a key to the underground tunnel. I went underground and found the door unlocked. I went through and found yet another hidden Team Rocket base. Before I went down, Silver conveniently found his way in and decided to want to battle me. Poof absolutely obliterates him. He runs away with a bit of self-realization this time. I made my way through the base and took out the rocket admins behind everything. With all the distraction out of the way, I made my way through the ice path and made it to Blackthorn City. I didn't waste any time and I went to the gym right away. I got through her gym puzzle and earned a chance to battle her. The one-man army Poof took a bit of damage from battle, but ultimately gave us the win. However, Claire was being a little bitch and refuses to give us the gym badge. She tells me to prove I'm worthy by going to her stupid shrine behind the gym. I had no choice but to make my way there. I talked to the Elder and answer his questions. Claire rudely barges in, expecting me to fail, however it was quite the opposite. The Elder and I are best pals now, and she has no choice but to hand over her 8th and final gym badge. With all that out of the way, I finally make my way to Victory Road. I make my way to the end to find none other than Silver himself. He gets poofed again and runs off, but this time he almost gives me a compliment. After jumping that last hurdle, I made it to the Pokemon League, where it was time to challenge the Elite Four. I enter the first room and challenge Will, the Psychic Specialist. Beam scores the first point as it takes out his Xatu. I then switch to Poof to take out his Executor, second Xatu, Jinx, and Slowbro, winning us a battle against our first Elite Four member. I walked to the second room and I met with the poison user Koga. Doug starts us off strong and takes out his Ariados and Fortress. I then switch to Dwayne and watch Muck use Minimize. I didn't know the sprite gets smaller in this generation. Dwayne still manages to take it out along with Crobat and Venomoth, defeating our second Elite Four member. I make my way to the third room to battle Bruno, who uses fighting Pokemon. Fearow sets the pace as it takes out Hitmontop. Dwayne then helps out to take out his Onix. Gus returns to battle to take out Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. Poof is then sent out to take out Machamp, earning victory over our third Elite Four member. I then walk into the fourth room and find Karen, who battles with Dark Pokemon. Gus manages to take out her Umbreon. I then swap out to Dwayne to take out her Gengar. Doug then makes an appearance to take out her Vileplume. Dwayne then returns to finish off her Murkrow and Houndoom, defeating our fourth and final Elite Four member. With the Elite Four out of the way, it was time to take on the champion Lance and his Dragon Pokemon. Poof takes the advantage early and takes out his Gyarados, Dragonite, other Dragonite, and Aerodactyl. I then switched to Dwayne to take out his Charizard. Poof then swapped in and took out his third and final Dragonite, winning us the battle against the Pokemon League champion. Lance then takes me to the winner's room. He puts my Pokemon in his machine that cements me into the Pokemon League Hall of Fame. Which marks the end of our journey. Or does it?